Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 12th of May, and we've had a couple of cups of condensed milk coffee this morning already. Here's another one. If you have your Bibles, turn to Proverbs 25, verses 8 through 10. Spreuke 25:8-10. The end of this week, we've been looking at how you make a difference and how leaders conduct themselves over so many various issues. And I guess the most important one that people think about when they say who's a leader, or who's a strong person, then it's someone who can control their emotions. And Proverbs 8 tells us very clearly that we are to control our emotions. Listen to this. Do not go out hastily to argue your case. Otherwise, what will you do in the end when your neighbor humiliates you? When we react to an emotion, we sometimes say things hastily, and we say things without thinking, and then when the facts come through under the emotion, then you feel humiliated. You feel you should have thought it through. Listen to verse 9. Argue your case with your neighbor, and do not reveal the secret of another. Again, when we're emotional, we sometimes blurt and we speak too much. We speak past what we're supposed to bring to the game. And then verse 10, or he who hears it will reproach you, and the evil report about you will not pass away. Sometimes what we do in our emotional state has such a lasting effect, and it damages actually our reputation, because when we're emotional, then we're like this, then we like this, then we like this, and we're different every day, because emotionally we react out of an emotional state instead of out of the constant state of what our value system is. So how do I deal with my emotions? How do I not become rolled over? Or how do I become less susceptible to being reactive out of emotions all the time? Well, it's important to accept emotions. The first thing that we need to do is accept them, identify them, and validify them. Say, I have the right to feel angry. I have the right to feel disappointed. I have the right to feel happy and glad and elated. And I have the right to feel emotional. And validate the feeling. Give it validity in its existence. Say it's okay to feel that at this time. It's understandable to feel that. To then feel it, to ride the wave of that feeling, but not to react in the wave. Once you've felt it, a nice way to rhyme is identify, give it a name, feel it, deal with it. Identify, feel, and deal. Identify, feel, and deal. And it's in the dealing with the emotion that we work through it, and we don't react in emotion, out of emotion. And it's a process that you learn. And as you mature, so you count to 10, you count to 20, you give yourself space just to let the swell of the wave of the emotion pick you up. And once it's gone past and your feet are on the shore again, on the sand again, on the ground again, then you move. You don't move while you're up in the wave. Then the wave is carrying you. But once the wave, you feel the wave and the wave is past, and you're back on solid ground, now you can work. Otherwise, you speak a word in anger. There's so much in the Proverbs about how much harm we do in our communication when we do it with emotion or out of emotion. That doesn't mean emotion is wrong. Emotion is something that God created and gave us for a reason, and it's a good thing to have emotion. And guys have emotion as well as girls. So as we come to the end of the week and we go into the service, feel the emotion of the service. Feel the emotion of the worship and of the praise that you're going to be in. Don't just go and sing. Switch your heart on, switch your emotions on, and feel them. But when it comes to leadership, when it comes to leading, wanneer dit kom by om jou lewe te leef en 'n verskil te maak in ander mense se lewens, dan doen ons dit nie in emosie en uit emosie uit. Ons laat ons emosies Ons identifiseer hulle, ons voel hulle, en dan neem ons beheer, en ons reageer uit wat ons glo en wat ons waardes is, nie wat ons emosies is. 'n Emosionele mens is 'n mens wat aandag en wat beskerming baie keer teen hulle self en teen ander nodig het. Maar 'n mens wat beheer neem van hulle emosies en ag neem wat hulle emosie is en dan hulle waardes toevoeg, dan is dit 'n goeie ding. I always use the example of if I have the value that children are not to be abused and everybody is to be treated with respect, and I see someone being handled disrespectfully, anger rises in me. And then I don't react in anger, but I respond to the anger. And I say, why am I angry? Because one of my values is being trampled on. And then I go deal with the value break, not the emotional break. And that's how I tend to not always get it right, but that's how I tend to try and live my life. But this is a Friday, and I hope you have a good Friday and a great weekend, that you spend some passionate, emotional time with people in the church on Sunday, and that the Lord blesses you fully and completely. Mag jy wel geluksalig wees in die diens Sondag en in die teenwoordigheid van God in daai diens Sondag. Wel is fisies, geluk is emosie, en salig is geestelik. Mag die Here jou 3 maal seën, en mag jy wel geluksalig wees in die Here se teenwoordigheid. Geniet jou Vrydag.